Hey guys, welcome to Sippin' and Spillin' with Sid from 3 Mississippi. How y'all doing today? Hope you're having a good day. Today was a Monday, man. Let me tell you, I know you guys are seeing this on Tuesday. It's Monday evening for me right now. And it has been a long day. I had a very long list, as I'm dropping crashing things in here. I had a very long list of things that I wanted to get done today. And I got a lot done, and I got a few things done that weren't necessarily on the list, but they were on the list, but they weren't on the list. But I didn't get to do any editing today. I moved some files and stuff, but I spent most of today outside. I had to clean both the stock tanks. I had to clean out the brooder and move the birds again to a clean brooder and take that down to the compost. We had gone on whatever day it was, Saturday, and done a Home Depot run, and nobody had ever unloaded the truck, which I hadn't realized. So I had to unload all the stuff from the truck, and I had gotten some more sand for the coop. But then randomly it rained for like 3 minutes on Saturday night. So unfortunately my sand got wet again. So I've got it laying out, drying again. Ooh, that is a bright sun. Okay, like I can't see. It's just right at that right spot. Lord have mercy. Anywho, so it was just moving bags and doing stuff, and then I had to move a bunch of plants inside because we're supposed to have a frost tonight, and hopefully it will be the last one because everything's blooming. So yeah, and then one of the reasons I wanted to make sure and do the stock tanks too is because I wanted to move the goat stock tank to a new spot, because Dan got out again and decimated the collards, the Brussels sprouts, the broccoli, like just wiped everything out. Mike was really not happy. So that was a bummer. And that happened on Sunday when we got back from church. He was out and we were like, oh no. I still can't figure out. I think he got under the fence. I know goats can climb. I'm well aware. This particular goat has never done anything like that before. I have seen him crawl through stuff before though, and crawl under stuff before, and I think he found a gap in the fence and went under. That is my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but I think that's what happened. So cameras have gone up this week between the goats and getting hit with predators. Since we've been there, this is what's happening now. So I thought, well, worst case, if you did go over, he may have used the lip of the trough to help him like get over. So I moved that. So there's no way. Where am I going? Oh yeah, I know where I'm going. I just went the wrong way though. Because I wasn't thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. Anywho, I can still get where I'm going. I just gotta go a different way because that's life. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where he's getting out. Mike wants to barbecue him. I don't want to barbecue Dan. Even when he was out, like, he just walked right up to us. I was like, Dan, come here. And he just like walked right up to me, and I let him right back inside, and he was fine. So I did give them some extra grain and some sweet feed today, just to like, maybe alleviate him wanting to adventure out. So I don't know. But it's unfortunate because, Mike's like, I don't have time to replant some of these things now. Now we're just kind of in this part of the season, and I don't have time to replant all these things and start them again. And so that was a bummer, and he was not happy, and I don't blame him. I wouldn't be happy either. It's a bummer, but there'll be a little bit more about that in Friday's video, and kind of a follow-up with the cameras, hopefully. So that'll be Friday's video. But yeah, that's a bummer. That was a bummer. But yeah, so anyway, so then I had to hurry up and run into town. This is my second trip into town today, which I try to not make multiple trips into town. The problem is when Frankie's got practice or anything, you know, she needs picked up usually at like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, a lot of times like tonight at 7 o'clock. And so what happens is I can't do any of my errands in town because all the places I need to go close at like 5 or 4 or 4:30, you know. So I was like, you know, if I need to go to the feed store, and I don't have time to go the rest of the week. So I need to go today, which I was bummed. I realized when I got home to unload the feed, they forgot one of my bags. So now I gotta deal with that because it's on my receipt. I paid for it. Now but I didn't realize it till I got home. And I always hate that because not that I think that they're gonna think that I'm lying to them, but I always feel like, how do you prove a negative? Like, I'm gonna call them and say like, this was on my receipt, but I didn't get it. Like, I don't know, I feel bad. I don't want anybody to get in trouble. Like, I don't want the guy that loads up the truck is so sweet. I talk to him all the time. And so I'm gonna feel bad. I don't want him to get in trouble, but I don't want to be out the $14 either. So I'm gonna have to call them tomorrow and be like, hey, yesterday I came by right before y'all closed and got some feed. And anyway, so now I gotta deal with that, because that means now I don't quite have enough to get me through the rest of the week of that feed. So now I gotta make a special trip for that, which is a bummer because I don't have time to do that this week. So I gotta figure that out. Yeah. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I'll figure it out. I always do. I'll find time. I'll figure it out. But anyway, so I had to go to town. I had to run by the eye doctor because they had changed my prescription, so I had to go and pick those up. And I had to go and get my my feed, and then I had to check to see if I was looking for rosemary for Mike, because he wanted to plant some rosemary, and I found some, but it wasn't the kind we wanted, and whatever. Those of you who've been watching us for a while, you know we used to have that big, giant, huge rosemary bush at our old place that we used it for smoking and cooking and like smoking meats on the barbecue and stuff. Not like, we weren't rolling like rosemary joints or anything. I don't know, but it just sounded funny the way I said it. Anyway, that's not what I meant. But yeah, so, but this is like a different variety of rosemary. It's like a softer leaf. I don't know. They don't seem like they're as hardy, and they come in those little pots. It's just like a little bit of, I'm like, I want a bush. I want a rosemary bush. I want a big hedge of rosemary that I can whack at with a chainsaw when I need some. That's what I want. We should have taken a cutting, but we didn't. So that's what it is. So we thought about it, but we were in such a frantic, like, hurry up to get out when it was time to go, that packing a cutting of the plant was sort of like, oh, we don't really have time to handle that and do that. So we didn't. But we should have, but we didn't. So there's that. But anyway, it is what it is. So still on the hunt for some solid rosemary, but this will have to do for now. And I moved a bunch of plants into the shop, unloaded the truck of the feed, and then I came inside, I made dinner. I told Mike, I was like, look, I made dinner. I don't have time to eat it now. I gotta go get the kid. I'll have to eat when I get back, but eat whenever you want, but I gotta go. So now I'm back here waiting for the kid, because this is what I do. I run back and forth. So I did get a lot done today. I was hoping to be able to add that sand to the coop and kind of flush out some areas. I did candle the eggs that the geese are sitting on. One of them was interesting. It was like very barely developed. Now, mind you, they've been sitting since the beginning of March. So they would be more developed than what I saw in the egg. I don't think any of them are viable, personally. I think all of them are toast. I let them keep like 3 of them that were questionable, and I'm going to check them again in a couple of days. But I pulled all the other eggs that were under them. They've pulled some of the eggs themselves and that they know are bad. But the one that I broke open that was bad, you could tell that it stopped developing, you know, that the yolk had gone watery, but you could see that it had started to develop. There was a little bit of veins. So it was fertile. It had been fertilized rather, but it definitely didn't make it. And I suspect we did have a real bad storm where we were like on a tornado, almost a tornado watch. Like, I feel like we should have been on a tornado watch, but we weren't. We were like on a watch to be on a watch, but it felt way more intense than some of the tornado watches we've been on. Anyway, it blew a bunch of stuff around, and it blew the lid off of one of the coops because I didn't have it. We had moved it, well, I hadn't moved it. Mike and Frankie had moved it, and I don't think they moved it super carefully. Anyway, the lid came off, and so it had blown off in this bad weather, and so these 2 poor geese were just huddled together during the storm, sitting on their nest during this downpour. And so I think that might have been when things went sideways, but is what it is. So I'm gonna let them keep a couple of those eggs for just a few more days, and then I'm gonna candle again and see if they look like they're viable, because I don't want to break them open and then have them be viable and, you know, have, you know, aborted the process. I don't want to do that, but it does give me hope that that one egg did show signs that it had some slight development, just because that tells me that I guess Roderick has at some point done the deed with the girls, even though he's a Roman tufted and they're Sebastopol. We'll see. These geese are just so, they try really hard to sit and be good. They always sit too soon, and we always have one more storm. They did this in California too. And I've tried incubating the eggs myself. It's just, they're very finicky eggs. They're just hard to incubate. They have a really low hatch rate. It's just a nightmare. It's amazing that they're coming back, but they've been considered kind of endangered in the homesteading world because they're so hard to breed and they're just so rare. But because they're becoming more popular, people are trying to, you know, breed them and kind of bring them back to life. So I'm trying too. Well, not this mix that I have right now, but I will be trying in the future, once I get my boy. But yeah, so that's that news. But tomorrow I have to hunker down because I have got to get Friday's video done, because I still have to, I gotta get that completely finished so that I have time to then work on the video for Sunday, because we'll be gone, you know. Frankie and I and a couple of friends are going to that concert for her as her birthday gift. So I gotta make sure I've got everything done this week, kind of almost like 2 days early. So I'm kind of stressing that just a little bit. So I need to hunker down and get that video finished, or at least 99% finished, so that like on Wednesday morning I can kind of top it off, like add whatever music needs added, clean it up a little bit, work on the thumbnail, get it uploaded, get it scheduled, get it done. So that's what I'm hoping that I'll be able to do tomorrow, because then Wednesday I'd like to be able to, you know, do some cleaning in the house, do some work outside a little bit, get a few other things done outside that are on my list. And, you know, then I still have to, like, you know, I gotta pack a bag. I gotta get the house ready for me to be gone. I gotta go over the stuff with Mike, because he has no idea who to feed what, when, or how, or any of that. So I need to go over all of that with him, because he'll have to do one feeding, while I'm gone. So we have to hope that goes okay. He's not good at the feeding of the animals so much. He doesn't know, like, what happens, like the routine. So and he's just not as patient with them. And they sense that, I think, and so sometimes it doesn't go as well. So we'll just keep a good thought that it'll be fine. We'll just keep a good thought and it'll be fine. I know he can handle it. He's done it before, but I have to leave very detailed instructions. But I mean, I guess if he was leaving and I had to do something with the plants, I suppose he would have to get, I mean, I feel like I kind of know more maybe about the plants than he does about the animals though. So maybe he wouldn't have to leave me detailed instructions. I don't know. Well, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, guys, the tiny human should be popping out here any second, so I better get rolling. But I hope y'all are having a blessed start to your week so far. And as always, safety's off.